All right.
Where's that from? Romeo and Juliet? Cannot be.
It's one of the many plays.
You also don't know your Shakespeare also.
Hey happy people! Welcome to SgNL. If you haven't figured that out, it is Singapore Night Live, a little talk show where we ask our Singapore theatre guests some questions, toy around a bit, and chit-chat, talk, sing song, and find out what goes on through their minds on stage. And more importantly, what goes on behind the curtains of our local theatre scene. Joining me by my comfy side today is actor, stage performer, and comedian Judee Tan.
Hello,
Hi,
thank
Judee.
you.
How are you today?
I'm feeling alright. Thank you so much for having me here at this SgNL. You guys have this topic about chatting about theatre, and actually now I can't think of it. I don't think I've ever been interviewed about theatre or my process about making it, and yeah, it's great that if audience can get to know a little bit more about just what we present on stage and also what goes behind and what goes through our minds and how we feel about theatre as a whole.
Because this is our first ever episode, right? We have to let the audience know more about theatre. So, Judee, we want to ask you, what does theatre mean to you? Theatre to me is...
Like a challenge. I mean, theatre really means many things to me. I was from VJC and then we did theatre studies and drama course, and then my teacher told me that, so the thing about theatre is ephemeral. It only lives in that moment. For me, well, that's one. And then developing from that, theatre to me is magic. And by magic, I don't mean like bedazzle, glitz, glamour, all that. There's something about living in that moment where everybody is, whether they are living in a sub-reality. By sub-reality, I mean those of us having rehearsed and constructed a reality on stage, and then the audience in their reality watching it for the first time, and then the other dimension of all of us together.
Kind of like connected space.
Yes, of having sub-reality and then this one as well. So that is really magic to have in that moment together.
I think
magic, we got it. Yeah, okay.
Magic, ephemeral,
and I really, what it means to me is that I honestly feel, but I don't really get this very often, and I don't feel like Singapore theatre does enough of it, is that it has to be absolutely truthful. Yeah, so that is theatre for me.
Wow, that's so insightful what you just shared with us about theatre. To me, I feel like theatre should always be a feedback loop between an audience and the performers. So it's kind of like...
What do you mean by feedback loop? I totally hear you, but I want to the audience, what do we mean by this feedback loop? Because it is so important.
In a way, it's kind of like when the audience watches the actors, the actors we don't watch the audience as we perform, but we kind of feed off their energy. So every cough, every yawn, every sigh, it should kind of affect the actor as well. Not in their performance, but it kind of, life is like relationships, like people, connections. It's all about energy.
But it's not just because of different audience. Every day, yourself is different. I wake up and I feel different every day because different things happen, right? So yeah, that bouncing off and definitely the feedback loop. And I think this is what also makes theatre unique in that we can have that.
Yes.
And that a performance, if we can, it goes beyond just you enjoying in that moment. It can also bring you a little bit more than that, which is like maybe you have some questions to think about, something to reflect. But I just think, it is that the feedback loop, and there's that conversation. It can start conversations.
Coming up next, we'll be talking about my favorite theatre show turned into a TV series. And Judee happens to be in both renditions of it.
Yep.
But before we get to that, let's stick around in our Toying Around segment, shall we? Here on SgNL, we like to keep things funny, dorky, lepak, and chill a bit. So, on this episode of our Toying Around segment, Judee Tan, I want to ask you. This is me trying to keep a serious face.
Don't ask me to marry you!
No, I'm not going to ask you to marry me.
To have a what?
Steady.
No,
play.
cannot. Play what?
William Shakespeare lah, sia. Okay, so in this segment,
Okay, Wayne.
Okay, so in this segment, it's gonna be a really fun and really chill segment.
Really,
So,
you play?
I'll giving you an iconic line from Shakespeare, and
Okay.
you will have to translate it to Singlish.
I'll try my best.
Okay, so we
This
want
is
to,
like how to be a Singaporean or 10 ways to prove you're a real Singaporean.
yes, very well put. So we want to test our Shakespearean English, and
First of all, let me see if I pass my Shakespearean or not. I don't even know whether I will pass. How do I know they're definitely Shakespearean?
they are definitely, I checked already.
Okay.
Okay, so we want to test your Shakespearean English and void deck Singlish lah sia. Cannot?
Oh, come lah, try me lah.
Okay, come, let's start. Because Limpe will be the judge lah, okay?
Is it Singlish so we must bing ah Lin?
Maybe we try.
Very
Cannot.
stereotype. Wow, want to fight already?
Hey, no. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Your first line,
Okay.
very typical one. To be or not to be?
那你看是吗？你看。
Sweet
It is
lah,
not
this one.
Singlish. It is not
Hey,
Singlish.
it's good.
No,
So you
wait,
want like that or don't want like that?
Yeah. You want Anikwan or don't want Anikwan? Must add a bit of English, then it's Singlish. Then if it's Teochew, you want Johnny or Ani?
Teo.
Not
Alright.
dark breast, Ani is not dark breast. Ani is that way. Huh?
Yes. Second line. If music be the food of love, play on.
You shook with music, you just sing lah.
Blast the speaker.
Yeah.
Alright.
Where's that from? Romeo and Juliet? Cannot be.
It's one of the many plays lah.
You also don't know your Shakespeare also.
Hey, don't like that. Very sad already. Okay.
We're Singaporean now. What we connect with Shakespeare?
Yeah, lor, how to do Shakespeare?
What's with his spear? Always must shake.
Must shake. What shiver spear?
Okay.
Okay, so third one.
Sorry, Shakespeare. Please let theatre continue, please.
Alright. Third line. Have more than you show. Speak less than you know.
Have more than you show. Speak less
than you know.
than you know.
This should be fun.
卖给强.
Wow, steady, just 3 syllable. Tio. Fourth line. Love all, trust a few, do wrong to none.
Love all, trust a few, do wrong to none. Don't join. I don't know where it came from. I cannot. Love all. Hey, be kind, don't be one kind.
Wow, like that also can. Be kind, don't be one
Yeah
kind.
lah.
Sweet.
Just not that one better.
Okay, last one. A rose by any other name would smell as sweet.
You make up or don't make up, same ah.
Or if any boyfriend says that to their girlfriend.
Really?
I mean,
But
my
it
past
should, it should
relationship.
be a compliment. You make up, no make up. You look the same. I still love you. Guys, use this. No.
Or it could be like misinterpreted in like, so you saying I wear makeup and no wear
Yeah,
makeup
no
also
difference.
say lah, ugly ah.
Ayo. You're still beautiful no matter what.
Yeah.
It's about the inside that counts.
Right, so we know that there have been theatre shows that got turned into TV series like Dick Lee's Fried Rice Paradise, Michael Chiang's Mixed Signals, and our Toy Factory's very own Ti Tou Tao, which we know that you were a part of. I read that you made your theatre debut as Sui Lian in 2007's Ti Tou Tao.
Yup.
And now you're also in the TV series as Kwan or
Yeah.
Kwan Jia.
Yes,
Yes.
two very polar opposite kind of roles. Because Sui Lian is the, as they say in wayang, the huatan, the female lead lah, you know, the
Yes.
prima donna. But actually she's like the heroine, you know. So then her story is then she, come here. But at the end, happy ever after with the scholar, with Bun Long, and they, you know, everything is a fairy tale ending. And then in the TV series, I play Kwan. Kwan Jia, and she had not such a happy ever after ending. Yeah.
So now that you're in the television version of it, can you tell us who Kwan Jia is?
Kwan Jia was this very self-sacrificial personality. She was kind of like, she fulfilled the motherly aspect, the maternal, very caring. Because her backstory, which was not included in the series, was that she was, at the time in Singapore, or a lot of parts in the world would be that sometimes you lose your parents at a very young age, or maybe you don't know where you're from. And Wayang troops actually really
take you in.
Yeah. And then you become part of the family, and then you give your life back to them. So her story was kind of like that. So that's why she felt she would just give her all, no matter what happened to it.
So I have to ask, do you like the theatre version better or the TV version better?
My goodness, that kind of question. When I did the theatre show, it was my debut. I came into the world sort of like in a bit of a, what's going on, And I really, because I played Swee Lian, the Hua Tan, I really enjoyed the singing.
Aww.
Yeah, and then there's something about singing those very traditional melodies, like, I don't know, it just makes you feel very within the culture, which is the wayang whole kind of how they were presenting themselves to the audience. It felt very wholesome in that way. And then we had, because Ti Tou Dao, the play had two, like there's the Jia Mi's life story, there's the wayang story, and then the whole story of how she's also getting older, cannot perform. Right. She had so many injuries, cannot perform. And the trade itself mirrors that journey, that it also was like, dying. I mean, we all go through that journey, right? First, it's very booming. Life is like that, right? And then, we come to a point where maybe it stands still. Okay, so that was a very nice kind of, because we also spoke Singlish and English in the theatre play. It was like, wow, I felt really nice presenting something like that was very deeply entrenched in our history, yet at the same time speaking a language that the people now understand. So I really love that. In the TV series, we don't have this mixed metaphors.
Right.
Yeah, we don't have mixed metaphors. So it was really about exploring and telling the audience something about our past, something about our current state as well, but through this character's journey, and of course the community and the life around her, which is the troupe. And when we were writing, part of the writing process, so now because I was in both the theatre and then I write for the TV version, I was like, how can I translate that sense into it as well? The sense that I felt in the theatre that cannot really be replicated in the same way, because the play is like, 2 hours? And then the show is 13 episodes. So it was very, very different. I really can't say, honestly, which one I liked better, because if you ask me now, Judee, if there's a chance for you to do the theatre show and act in the series again, I will say, please let me do both. It is a beautiful experience, and Ti Tou Dao, the play, I always say to my fans, and then Ti Tou Dao was my first play, my debut, and Kwan Jia was my first time I wrote for a TV series, and also my first long a drama series. Yeah, really, really enjoy exploring depths of character that sometimes I don't get a chance to, because I mostly do comedy. Yeah, so if there is I like to make people laugh and also cry. So I would both,
So thank you, Judee, for joining me on this episode of SgNL. You've been such a wonderful and insightful guest.
Thank you so much, Wayne and Toy Factory, of course. And viewers out there, continue to support local theatre.
Yes, support the arts. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Now we do the click the bell. Click the bell. Yeah.